All right, folks, welcome to Hunting the Rut Hotline. Hey, it is Thursday night, Steve.
We're here.
It is time to talk whitetail and the year in the life of a whitetail. So, folks, we're glad to have you. It is, hey, get on the phone, call your friends, text them, say, hey, guys, the show's on. The questions tonight, they'll be what they are, and they'll be as relevant as the last question. And, folks, when you listen to these questions tonight, and as people call in, don't just pay attention to the question, but note where they're coming from, because that gives the nuance to what they're saying this time of year where they are. And you'll start seeing the differences, Steve, and success is in the nuances. So one of the things we want to do tonight, of course, we've been talking about the recovery for the past few weeks, and that's exactly where the deer are all over the country in the various regions of the country, Midwest, Northeast, Southwest. Of course, in the Southeast, we're ahead of everybody because we got plenty of browse. And one of the things we showed them last week was we're also blessed in the Southeast with timber rattlers. And Mike, Steve's brother, we showed you the big snake last week that he killed. Tom, you got that snake from, folks, look at this snake. This snake was killed in the same spot that Mike killed the other snake. And this young boy, notice he's barefooted. It's warm down here, folks. You can tell he's in the South.
Shorts, no shoes.
But look at that. Now that's crawling across the same road in the same place the other rattlesnake was killed. And what's crazy about it, Mike was telling me the other day, that there was a boy in Coy, which is not, less than 10 miles from where he is in South Alabama, in Wilcox County. Him and his father was turkey hunting in a blind, and one crawled in the blind with him, and the young boy, or the son, turned around and shot the rattlesnake in the blind with him. So, folks, it is that time of year.
Don't recommend that for unless you're really experienced.
Pay attention where you're going. They'll get you. These timber rattlers and diamondbacks, moccasins, they're bad. They got an attitude anyway.
Yeah.
And in fact, I heard one the other day where a man got bit turkey hunting. He wasn't in Alabama, where he sat down by a log. He looked, he cleared, how you'll clear out a place. He cleared it out and sat down and was fine. He got ready to get up and he moved his leg, and the rattlesnake popped him on the leg, and then he started rattling, which is odd for a rattlesnake. A rattlesnake typically is going to rattle. Yeah. So folks, I think we got us a quick caller on the line here. Let's see who we got. All righty, you got Don Bell and Steve Burklow. Who we got?
Oh my goodness gracious. This is Mike Burklow.
Big Mike. Hey Mike, we were just showing them these rattlesnakes. That young boy that killed that second snake, how close was he to where the other boy, where you killed yours?
I'm not exactly sure, but it was in the same subdivision as me. I think he was less than a half a mile away.
Subdivision, that don't sound good. Now when Mike says subdivision, you got to understand that's in Wilcox County, so that takes on a different concept of what subdivision is. But Mike, listen, guys, the reason Mike is called in, one of the things that we've talked about and everybody's experiencing this time of year all over the country, not just the Southeast, is ticks.
Man, bad.
And
they're getting worse too.
Yes, and let me remind everybody, guys, Steve is a pharmacist. Mike, who was on the show just a few weeks back, him and Steve did the show. Steve's brother Mike is a pharmacist, and both sisters are pharmacists. And so, Mike, tell them what you found out about what you've been hearing about the expansion of the different diseases with ticks, specifically deer ticks.
Well, Don, what I've been reading and seeing is how dangerous the ticks and how they've mutated almost like a new disease or a new viral type thing, that it's even worse than Lyme disease. And because this is so bad, the CDC is getting involved. And when the CDC gets involved, it's not just
it's not a local thing.
When the CDC is involved, it's a pretty bad thing that's going on, and I've seen it in Connecticut especially. And one of the bad things about it is once a person is infected, this thing can be spread by airborne. Oh. And that can be real bad, real dangerous.
Wow. So it's not just I think I was telling you earlier that in one article I read that they've identified, though they have not named it, as many as 5 new diseases, and one of them was regarding airborne, related back to the deer tick. So, you know, the deer tick is always a problem, and it certainly is for all the hunters out there, not only for the turkey hunters around the country, but all the 3D archery shooters. Like old tick magnet from last week.
It's just, you know, it almost doesn't make sense to go in the woods without using something.
Some kind of protection. Do we have anything for that?
We got a little bit of something for that. And, you know.
And that's true, you know, it's just, you know, why would you not want to use it?
Absolutely.
It's so easy to apply and use laundry detergent, shampoo, and the spray.
Triple protection.
Yeah, and the problem with the Lyme disease, now you two guys correct me on this, but Lyme disease is not like you go get a tick and you take him off and you don't know. It can be an extended period of time before you start realizing you got this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's heck to get rid of, and it's a long process to get rid of it.
Process.
And it can turn into all other kind of things.
Yeah.
And and so.
The thing is, Don, and you know, and I'm sure you know, and I'm sure Steve knows, and a lot of people that spend time outdoors knows that this can change the way you live outdoors once you get a tick bite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not, you know, indoors, but especially outdoors. I mean, you know, this can be debilitating when you get a tick bite.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason why, you know, up till January, the common thing that everybody used was DEET. And of course, there ain't a human alive that likes DEET. I mean, you know, it's just a bad thing. They tell you don't even put it on your clothing, and yet there's people just like Jason who called last week in Kansas. I don't know if you remember him, Mike. He called himself the tick magnet.
Yeah.
Right,
you know, but he tolerated the burn.
That would just about make me quit doing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wasn't getting a few. He's getting 50, 100, 150 at a time on him.
And I've heard that with several people that we've come in contact since we've started this, you know, developing this product. So.
Yeah, in fact, I was at one of our dealers over here, Mike's, here in Pensacola today, and they've got a display of BioShield, and I was telling the lady that was standing there, a customer, I said, look, you know, the register lady said, they're selling that stuff. And I said, the shampoo, I said, you're taking a bath, aren't you? And she looked at me and said, well, yeah. I said, all right, now you've got a body wash and shampoo. You got protection. You washing your clothes?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, all right. Why don't you wash your clothes with detergent that gives your children and your husband and your family protection? Why risk it? So for the first time in the industry, everybody listening, we have a system. Not only is it the ready to use, but we have it in a laundry detergent and the body wash and shampoo, which gives you the complete system. And hey, you heard old Jason last week bragging on it.
Boy, he loves the whole system. That's the key to it.
That's right. Hunters understand to do it with the human odor.
Yeah.
You know, with the odor stop products, you know, the ready-to-use spray and the body wash and the laundry detergent. For the first time, BioShield has it in all three, and it's available. You can go on the website and get it, or you can go to your local dealer and ask for it. It'll be available all across America, is now, and if you don't have a local dealer, they can ask for it. They can get in contact with us. We can set them up through a distributor or make sure they can get product. Or if you don't have one, you can always go to the website and get it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty bad stuff out there, and it's only going to grow. And what's crazy, Mike? Where did you say it was real bad at? What state?
Well, the place that I saw that it was really getting bad was in Connecticut. That they were really highlighting.
Wow.
But
and that's in the Northeast.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about Connecticut.
They're just bad.
He called in and said that he got so many. I couldn't imagine that.
Now that'd just be. That'd be crazy. They'd be hanging everywhere, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I tell you.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
Well, folks, look, I can't stand. I don't like them.
I can't stand
I don't like them. And not only do we take care of ticks with BioShield, but the stinking mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Any kind of biting insect.
Yeah.
No reason to go out there and get eat up anymore. You got a system that'll protect you all naturally, folks. Protect your family. There's no sense of the days of getting bit should be over with.
That's right.
You know, it's not an expensive product. It is a great peace of mind. And just like Mike said, you don't want to get sick and literally tie you up in the future based on what you do. I don't know if you guys know that years ago Eddie Salter got Lyme disease. He got bit, and I know several people. In fact, 2 in Wilcox County that got Lyme disease off of the little seed tick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we got a good friend that just heard about that has got it.
yeah, it's I see that. I got you now. All right, so, but Mike, look, we appreciate you calling in, and guys, we'll keep you abreast on this, but the short answer to it is BioShield.
Yeah.
Listen, and look,
Absolutely.
Seriously, folks, that's not a commercial. We sell it, we make it. We are extremely proud of it. It's going to change the repellent industry, but we're telling you, we've got you something that'll protect your family.
Absolutely.
And we're pretty proud of that. You can put it on your children, your wife can use it anywhere, and we're working on a couple of other things that we're doing. Pets. Yeah. Well, it's all natural. We're not in the pet industry.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, you still there?
Absolutely.
Tell them what you did. Tell them what you washed your dog with.
BioShield and or the Centipede.
I know, but
nothing else.
But which product did you use to wash your dog? Tell the truth.
The BioShield.
I know, but which was it? The body wash, or was it the laundry detergent?
I use a laundry detergent.
See,
Absolutely. I use
now,
a laundry
folks,
detergent.
now listen to me. That's how. I was going to see if he was going to be honest.
Yeah.
That's because he didn't. He was out of the body wash, and what kind of dog you got? We're not just talking about any kind of dog here. We got a good dog.
Labrador Retriever.
Labrador Retriever. Yeah. Now everybody knows.
And my wife would get rid of me before she'd get rid of that Labrador.
And washed the dog with our laundry detergent, and that shows you how natural it is.
Concentrated as it
is.
is.
Works.
Yeah.
It works. Not necessarily recommended to use a laundry detergent, but the body wash and shampoo I'd go for. Yeah. But it's good stuff, folks.
Yeah.
Listen, no use to run the risk anymore. Seriously, you can get it online. Call us. We'll let you know where you can get it around the country. If they don't have it, ask for it. Sounds like Fox News on it. Demand
Absolutely.
it.
Demand it.
That's right. All right, folks. Listen, we're going to take. Mike, appreciate you calling in, folks. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to take a few calls. Appreciate it, Mike.
Anytime, buddy.
All right. Bye bye. Be right back.
Rise and shine. It's time to hunt.
Repel and kill the bugs that bug you most with the all-natural 100% deep-free BioShield.
You've waited your whole life for this moment. Don't spoil your opportunity because of poor preparation. Keep your optics clean and fog-free for a clear shot every time. Fog Zero.
All right, folks, we're back. Listen, I think we got us a caller online. Am I correct on that, guys?
Look at that.
It works when it works like that. That's nice. All righty. All righty, you got Don Bell and Steve Burklow. Who we got?
This is Jody Chetlow.
Big Jody. Double Springs, Michigan. Now, where's that at?
It's in Alabama.
It's what?
It's Double Springs, Alabama.
Oh.
All right, somebody did a typo on that. A little difference between Michigan. Shelby's going, it was me.
I heard of Double Springs, Alabama. So
now, Double Springs, that's up in the northwest. That's where we looked it up at time. That
is correct.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, all right. We got our Double Springs correct. Now he puts Alabama on there. All right, Big Jody, what kind of question you got?
I could talk to you for hours and days at a time, but I got a couple of things for you.
Okay.
One of them, I'll talk real quick on your BioShield. It is wonderful on ticks. My question is this good on chiggers?
Any kind of biting insect, it should work on. No-see-em, black flies, What else you got up there that bites you? Insect wise.
Yeah, but chiggers are bad. And
Yes.
yeah, and boy, after they get on you, whew,
It's a bad
deal.
Tends to congregate, if you
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying to explain to you. So, but now look, think about that just a second, what we just said. In laughing, it tends to kind of
Yeah.
go to certain places. That's the advantage of the body wash and shampoo and the laundry detergent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now think about that just a second. Because if you take topical spray, Jody, and you spray it on you like our spray, that is great. But ours is a system.
Yeah.
You're already going to wash your clothes. Do you have problems with ticks and stuff everywhere you are? Well, I know you do. You up there in the...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you tried the product yet?
I got the BioShield spray. I don't have the shampoo or the body wash or the laundry detergent.
Listen.
I do have the spray, and it works great.
Tell Mama, you're already washing your clothes and you're already taking a bath, and we're serious with this. You're already spending the money. Now you have it in this, and you're getting the protection. It's just one of those no-brainers.
Yeah.
And great smell.
You're going to love it. That's the crazy thing. You're going to love the smell.
Yeah.
When you take a bath with it, you're going to love it.
And you know, I bet you when you first smelt that stuff, Jody, you thought, well, you were probably expecting something,
Kind of bug spray.
you know, like a bug spray. It's not. It's very pleasant. And Jason, who called in last week from Kansas,
Yeah.
he called himself the tick magnet. And I don't know if, did you hear that show? Did you listen to the show last week?
Absolutely. I listen to the show every week.
Well, Jody, we appreciate it. And now listen, that old boy called in just like you did, and man, he put it to the test, and he was elated.
Yeah, and he uses all three, the system, and it really makes a difference. Well,
You know, it's not just irritating that you get something on you. It's just like Mike said.
Yeah.
It's all these diseases that you can get, and the doggone it, the thing about it may not show up for 6 months, a year later
yeah,
that you get it.
yeah,
And now you got it.
yeah. But the long way around to the question you asked, though, yes, it will work for chiggers.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's your advantage of your body wash and
Yes.
shampoo
The system.
and the laundry detergent.
Maximum protection.
It protects all areas.
That's right.
It's a full system.
Yeah. And you guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You've all had it happen.
Does that make sense, Joe?
Absolutely. Now,
Go ahead.
my next question for you is, speaking of sheds, finding a good set of sheds from 2 different deer, not a lot of deer sign in the area where I found these sheds. Is that going to be a spot worth my time looking to hunt that area next year, or is that just a place where, a deer walk by and that doesn't have where he lost his horns?
A little of both. I mean, it's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that where you find a shed that buck's going to be in that area next year. It could be, it depends on where you are. Again, Midwest, you're going to have sheds mid-December. Now, if you want to do like we showed on the show before with old boy up, I think he was in Michigan, somewhere up there in the Midwest, where he had a feeder and he created a hole for the deer to have to stick the head in to eat, which knocks the antlers off. Well, then they're in the area because they're coming to the feeder. But down here,
Yeah. There in Alabama,
there's no real guarantee of that. There's some indications of it. Obviously you know that he's still there. Nobody shot him.
And that's funny you asked that question, because I found a really nice shed about 4 years ago on our property there in above Camden. A really heavy shed, nice 8-point, would have been, of course, one side I got. And not a place we typically hunt. And matter of fact, we haven't really hunted it since then. I never thought we would have found it there because it's in between our property and the neighbors, and it's right there where there's a lot of noise, and also. So I guess it depends on where it's at.
Yeah, I mean a does could take bucks out of the area during post rut, winding down, but because right now in the Midwest, in the Northeast, they're in Christmas. You can start losing antlers. Well, even though they're really out of post rut, you still could have some of that. Down here, I mean, 2 weeks ago, I was telling Steve, we saw a buck in Furman, which is Wilcox County, cross over from the lake, cross over on me, and he still had both sides on him. 2 weeks. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But as a general rule, the short answer to that is a general rule, no. But it does tell you that he made it through the season, and he very well could be there.
Yeah.
But if he's going to be there next year, depends on food, pressure, all that stuff. But all things given the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you might check for sign there before bow season. If you got the sign there and verify it, then yeah, maybe.
I mean, if it's your property and you got enough property and there's no pressure on him, and yes, and those variables, you got a decent shot of him still being on the property.
Yeah.
But it's not a.
This is all on public land, so yeah, it could be where pressure got him just moving around.
Yeah.
Right. In other words, pressure could have had him where he was at the time he dropped it. He wasn't necessarily there because he wanted to be. He was there because pressure put him there.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. There's variables to it.
Yeah.
And so, of course, a whitetail is very, very habitual. Jody, they're going to do the same thing every day, and till pressure changes, then they're going to alter their route or their habit. But as soon as pressure goes away, they're going to get right back in that routine.
That's right.
Because routine is security. Just humans, us, we do the same thing. There's a security in that. Whitetail's the same way. As you heard the show a few weeks ago, blacktail, they don't do that. They go this way, go back that way, come back this way. A whitetail is going to go and come until pressure changes. Then they're going to do it, and then they're going to get back in that routine again.
Well, that's why that first week of bow season is my favorite week to hunt.
That's right, because nobody's bothered.
They're back in that routine. They're comfortable.
So you're the one messing them up. They're going to messed up. But
I get after them that week.
All right. Does that make sense, Jody?
Yes, sir, it does. Absolutely.
Well, man, we're glad you watch the show and listen to the show each week. Tell all your friends about the show. And
how'd you hear about it?
Yeah. How did you first hear about the show?
Actually, I got it on Facebook. When I first come across it, and I've been watching since the first episode, and Mama knows here, comes 7 o'clock on Thursday night, I'm sitting right here at the computer watching y'all.
There you go. Listen, my father, he watched the news on we watched the news on a black and white Zenith TV when Walter Cronkite was on, and at 5 o'clock when Walter came on, you didn't hear nobody talk in the house. Your dad pulled that black ottoman up there to that TV, and he'd almost kiss it. And it was him and Walter, buddy, till it was over with. Then you could breathe at our house. But up to that. So, hey, listen, we appreciate it. Tell all your friends about it, and call back in.
Absolutely. I have learned more from y'all in the last, since I've been watching y'all than years of reading books. So y'all got an outstanding program. I certainly appreciate what y'all doing.
Well, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you listening, and tell your friends about it, Jody.
Yes, sir, I will do.
All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you much.
You bet, bye-bye.
Always that sign in there.
Yeah, I know it. Another caller, but isn't it nice to have callers do?
Man.
And that's what the show's about. All right, we got somebody else on the line.
Well,
I
drop
think,
him.
Did I lose him? Did I lose him? Let's see. Chris says, yep, we lost him. He'll call right back. Okay,
we're going to Facebook.
Quick Facebook. What we got, Steve?
We got Shannon Welch from Lincoln, Nebraska. Is there anything that I can do to hold summer roaming bucks near my property come fall other than having food sources?
Bucks are back in bachelor groups.
Yeah.
You can, some of the things that we've talked about in the course of the show, even though if you're wanting to hold them in summer, then you hold them in the recovery period, which is now. Food, cover, security.
Yeah, that's right.
Food, cover, security.
Right.
And water, obviously.
In Nebraska, where everything's gets wide open, if you have if you can create some great bedding areas, things like that would be.
Yeah, any kind. What's it? My mind went blank.
Like CRP.
Well, I'm talking about cutting the trees over. Hinge cutting.
Yeah.
All right, I think we got the caller back on the line here. We good, guys?
Yeah, very good.
All righty, you got Don Bell and Steve Burklow. Who we got?
Hey, Don, this is Barry.
Well, Barry, how we doing, man?
Pretty good. Y'all doing all right?
Yes, sir. Hazel Green, Alabama. Now, where's that?
That is right at the state line, about the middle of Alabama.
All right. East side or west side?
Which side, east or west?
Well, we're going to be almost in the middle of where Highway 231 and 431 goes up to Tennessee.
Okay.
You are in the northern part of it up there then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right at the state line.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
I'm from Atmore, and there's an Ardmore.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's hard to tell that with a southern accent, but tell people, explain the difference between them two. Got to spell
I'm
it.
about 20 minutes from Ardmore.
See there? Well, all right, Big Barry, what kind of question you got tonight?
Well, on like your scents and stuff, most of the scents that we get around here from our hunting stores are they either come from out west or up north or something. We haven't had any good luck with those.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why?
Yeah, first of all, 98% of all scents sold on the market's a blend. That means everybody at work tomorrow where you work, Barry, urinates in a 55-gallon drum. When you get it full, you bottle it. It'll bottle 7,041 ounce bottles.
Good Lord.
Now, all 7,040 smells the same. You in a hunting club?
No, sir. Oh, I'm a landowner.
Okay, well then let's pretend you're in a hunting club because plenty of people listening are. So that means Steve-O here he puts a bottle of scent out, it's a blend. Doesn't matter whose it is. First off, if it's not Code Blue or Top Secret, it's a blend.
Okay.
Okay, so Steve uses it and he screws up. Deer blows. He comes 500 yards down the ridge to me. The buck does. I'm using the same thing Steve's using. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to blow. Why? Because Steve educated him. I'm going to blow. That buck's going to go 500 yards to Tom, to Shelby, to Chris, and bless your heart, when he gets to you, he's just hauling butt. And you ain't said nothing. You sitting there like a little church mouse. The common denominator is you're all using the same blended scent.
Okay.
Top Secret is single urine, no oxygen. So what we have is single but no oxygen. Look, when you go to any store that you go to and you open a bottle of deer scent, what color is it?
Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, say that again. What color is it?
Brown.
It's brown.
Absolutely.
We've asked that for 6 months now. We've yet to tell us any different. You know why? Because you're telling the truth. It's brown. Barry, the reason it's brown is because it's ammonia. First of all, it's a blend, and it's ammoniated. Even Code Blue, which is one deer, one bottle, the finest scent that had ever hit the industry. I know it because it was my patent. It is brown, and the reason it's brown is because it's ammoniated. Oxygen ammoniates deer urine. What we do at Top Secret is single but no oxygen. So the first time you open it is the first time it sees oxygen. Barry, look, it's not complicated. Dark urine says a deer was there. Clear, yellow, non-ammoniated urine says a deer is there.
Yeah. Yeah. And
There's the difference.
Yeah. And I really think you'll really have some different results.
You'll see the results. Look, and we've said this example over and over, but it is so relevant because it takes it to you, and it's not something that we're saying. Urinate in a jar tomorrow morning, put it down outside. It should be a clear yellow. Watch it in the course of the day. Now, this is your urine. Watch it in the course of the day, Barry. It's going to start changing color and smell. The only variable to it is oxygen. So at the end of the day, tomorrow it's brown. So that says when a deer smells that, another animal, it tells there was somebody there. They're not now. They were there. Urine tells another deer how long it's been since that deer was there. Now, if you get up in a stand and you're going to freeze your butt off, would you want urine that says you were there, or you want urine that says you are there?
Right.
I am there. You know?
Common sense says that. Well, finally, Top Secret, you've got that.
Yeah, yeah. And I never had much luck with those, Barry, and we've hunted in Camden for the last 20, 25 years, which is not, middle of the state, but But I tell you what, since we've started using Top Secret, it has made a big difference. Big difference.
You know, but to answer your question, one aspect of your question, and people's asked me this for years, if you take a deer's urine in Alabama and you take it to Minnesota or Texas or New York, does it matter that the urine's coming from a southern deer or a northern deer? The answer to that is emphatically no. It does not matter. That'd be like asking that if I came home tonight after this show and I walk into my master bedroom and I found a man, would I give a rat's butt if he's from New York or South Alabama or Louisiana?
Yeah.
No, he just shot it away.
It's the same thing. A whitetail is a whitetail is a whitetail. Now, the only difference is topography, how you set up on that animal. Still got the same 3 defenses, ears, eyes, nose. Mm-hmm. So, you know, but the urine, what makes a difference in the urine is not where it's from, but how it's collected,
right,
and how it's delivered.
Yeah.
And Top Secret has changed the game because it is oxygen free from collection to the bottle, and once you open it, you can maintain it by pumping it out in between using it with the Scent Saver system. Can you see the screen?
I seen the pump a while ago.
Yeah. So the pump, you can use this in between using it, and it keeps it without oxygen in between. Right. That way, it remains yellow versus dark. Plus, we have it in foam.
Yeah. Well, the foam, Barry, is 8 ounces. Retails for $20. 8 ounces. I mean, that's 300 pumps. You can't beat that. And with this, you don't have to have the Scent Saver. Each pump is the first time it sees oxygen.
That's right.
We used the fool out of this during hunting season last year, and we got Hot Mama, estrus, and the
buck and doe.
Or you got a buck chasing a doe when you follow them back to back like that.
Have you ever used any Top Secret, Barry?
No, I haven't.
All right, because what Steve just told you is absolutely cat's meow. Because you can, when you use a grunt call.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, when you get up in a tree and you grunt, grunting is a territorial infringement. Mm-hmm. And what most people misunderstand is that the number one scent, when you use deer scent, what scent do you use? Estrus?
Yeah.
Most people use estrus. Mm-hmm. 80% of all scent sold in a 3-4 week window in America. The reason for it is most people think that's the rut. That's the peak of the rut. When you grunt, you need to be using buck urine. Now, it's okay to use buck and estrus, but you definitely need to be using buck urine. Mm-hmm. Grunting is an infringement, Barry. So when you get up in a tree and you grunt, what you told Steve out there, at least you hope he's out there, when Steve hears you grunting, what you told him, another buck is tending a doe. Guess whose doe? His doe. Grunting is an infringement, so he goes downwind. The reason he goes downwind, he wants to smell what he's hearing. Mm-hmm. And if you got estrus out, that'd be like coming home smelling Old Spice cologne, flip the light on, see your wife. You're not looking for your wife. Who you looking for, Barry?
I'm looking for the other man.
I'm looking for the other man.
Yeah.
So you got to have buck urine out. That's the reason it's not near as successful with grunting. You can use estrus, but you need to use buck with it. Mm-hmm. Then you've got the confirmation going on for him to come in. General rule, if you can whip 2 of the 3 senses, you got a shot at it.
Yeah.
His nose and his eyes, his eyes and ears keeps him alive. His nose keeps his eyes and ears checked. But if you normally can whip 2 of them, you got a shot at him. And try it this year. You'll see a big difference in it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try it.
Did that answer your question, or was that a long way around the mountain to?
Hey, that's perfect. I appreciate it.
We sure appreciate it.
Well, look, we appreciate you calling in, and tell everybody about it up there, and tell them, hey, this show's every Thursday night, 7 o'clock Central, every Thursday night, and you'll be able to see all of our products, not only Top Secret, Scent Defense, BioShield, and Fog Zero. All of those are commercials airing on all 3 major networks, Outdoor Channel, Sportsman's Channel, and the Pursuit Channel. So tell people about it.
We will be trying to
the shield too, because we have the ticks and sugar problem here too. So
Look, you can get it at any your local sporting goods store. If they don't have it, they can call us and call the distributor and get it. And if they can't get it and you need it now, you certainly can hit the website and get it, and we can send it to you.
And check out the Fog Zero. Keeps your scopes clear and your binoculars, rangefinder.
It's pretty amazing stuff all the way around.
Really neat. Yeah.
Well, listen, tell your friends about the show and watch us each week.
all right, we'll do it.
All right, man.
Bye,
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate y'all.
You bet. Bye-bye. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Be right back.
Come right back.
From Don Bell, the founder of Code Blue, comes Top Secret Reserve Doe Esters, the finest doe esters ever collected. Top Secret oxygen-free collection process is a complete generation above Code Blue. Our patent-pending collection process means no ammonia and no ammonia smell. At a limited quantity of 12,000 bottles, only 0.1% of hunters will be lucky enough to add Top Secret to their arsenal. Visit TopSecretDeerScent.com today and join the 0.1% club.
All right, folks. Hey, listen, not only is it Thursday night, Steve, it is open enrollment, and all you folks just saw about the school's in. That's right. 0.1% of 1% club. Folks, now look, you're thinking out there thinking, well, I got plenty of time to get my deer urine, and you're thinking deer urine in spring. It's turkey season, I'm fishing. Let me tell you, there's only 12,000 bottles of the reserve. That's 26 ounces. Folks, it's a flat $100 bill. It is the finest deer urine the industry's ever seen. It is from a 3-4-year-old doe. There's only 12,000 bottles. Can't say it don't work, because we pulled that buck off of that doe. So every bottle is an in-process urine. Never seen oxygen, Steve.
Right.
Would you join? In fact, some of the guys that's called in tonight is club members, and you will be able to be a club member. You get to participate in new product development. In fact, the buck urine that we have, folks, is a direct result of the club saying, hey, can you give us the bucks off of those does?
Right, right.
So you get to participate in new product development. We're doing spots with the show where you'll be able to call in and participate in certain things. We have giveaways, plus they get to every bottle. Once you become a club member, no one can ever take that bottle away from you. It's like buying season tickets at University of Alabama.
Well, and don't you get a discount on the future products too?
You get a 5% discount on all future products.
Yeah,
and so it is a pretty neat deal. There's no other club like it in America. It's going to wind up being the most exclusive club in the country. And guys, 1/10 of 1% of hunters in America will have a bottle of this. It's almost creating a black market where people, we had dealers selling it, and they were literally pouring it out, selling it by the ounce.
Yeah.
And so now the only place that you can get this, you can't get it starting in 2015 forward. The only place that has it is through the website, through joining the club. So it's early enrollment. Man, by all means, hit that button below you, and you can join the club tonight. Don't wait. You can say, hey, I want it.
And we'll ship it there in September, November, whenever you want it.
You can pay for it one time or
over 4 payments.
4 payment systems. So your choice. Hit the button below, see it, get yours tonight. I believe we got us another caller.
Yep.
We do indeed. All right, you got Don Bell and Steve Burklow. Who we got?
Aaron O'Neill.
Mr. Aaron.
All right.
Now, wait a minute. Let me ask you, are you really in Michigan?
Yes, I am.
Well, our high-tech crew behind the screen there, like the Wizard of Oz, had somebody from Michigan and they were from Alabama. And that's awful close. That's awful close. I saw that. So you can tell we're live then. What Clinton Township, what part of Michigan are you from?
Clinton Township. It's just, I'm about 8 miles north of Detroit.
Okay.
All right.
Good. We hope Detroit keeps coming back.
Just a few miles from here.
Yeah, just a few miles from there is right. Aaron, what kind of question you got?
Well, the question I got tonight is, I got a whole lot, but the one I got tonight is, I got a food plot, about maybe about 3/4 of an acre, and it's surrounded by hardwoods. I'm just wondering, where I should set my tree stand. I got a trail that comes out of the woods into the food plot. I'm just wondering where I should set that tree stand up at.
Is it a planted food plot, or is it a field? Is it a beet field? What you got? You got alfalfa? Are you planting the food plot, or is it just a field that they're coming to?
No, the food plot is planted. I plant it every year.
Okay.
Bow hunting or?
Yeah. Bow hunting or gun?
Both.
My kind of guy.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
And touch 'em,
That's right. Well, look, now, here's always been my philosophy on hunting a field.
Okay.
What's the first, when you're sitting you got any kids that deer hunt?
My daughter does.
Okay, if you were to ask a young person that's started hunting, you say, hey, what's the first thing comes in a green field? What's the first thing comes in a field in the afternoons? Typically it's what? Does.
A doe.
That's right.
No, we're
Now then, then you see these little, next thing comes in a field is what? Little bitty young bucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, how many times have we seen little young bucks run them does out across that field out there? But if you're lucky, right at dark, what do you get to see a glimpse of coming up to that field?
Something I want to shoot.
That's right. Now then, have you ever thought about why that sucker waits to dark to come to that field? There's a reason for that. Because he's got better sense than get out there like he's teenagers and run them does all over that field, because rednecks like Steve and I will shoot them. Right? Now, and so he's done got old enough to know to keep his butt back. So here's what a buck would do. Michigan, anywhere in America. He knows those does are out there. And so what a buck would do is he'll time darkness to the field, which most hunters wants to, and it's a good question, Aaron, because most hunters, if you go to a field, you're going to find them tree stands sitting on that field.
Right.
But what they're seeing is does and young bucks. But if you take, and it's hard to do, if you take that, I mean, it's not hard to do, it's just hard to get your head to do it. Take that stand and go in 100 yards, 150 yards, depends on the terrain, and because that buck is time in darkness. If you get in far enough, and if you let them does go by, and if you let them little basket bucks come by, you'll get a chance to still shoot that big buck when it's plenty daylight. Because he's time in darkness to the field. So in essence, you got to go to him instead of him come to you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And and Don's exactly right. And to do it on the bow side here, when you're bow hunting, that first week, tell you what I like that first week, I'm on the field that first week simply because they're comfortable coming out. But now after that first week,
that pressure puts it on them.
Right. After that first week, my stand is going back into the woods, like Don said, because now the pressure's on.
And notice what Steve just said then. Because Steve is saying the first part of the year, because them young bucks aren't doing what? They're not running them does.
Right. They're not. That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
They hadn't been in contact with humans or hunters.
So that's a good point, Steve.
But because I love to hunt the field, because you can see, get clear shots with your bow, and but after that first week, it's time to move out.
I mean, listen, Aaron, that is a good nuance to what Steve just said. It's because you're right. The first part of the year, anywhere in the country, deer aren't bothered, so the buck will go out in the field. He's not necessarily going to the field because of the doe. Now, in the peak of the rut, he's going to the field for the doe.
Right.
So you got to move off to let him catch darkness. So once pressure, but I think you said you're hunting your own land?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have much pressure outside of your property?
No, not really. No.
Oh, you got it whipped then.
Yeah.
So you can control the pressure on that. But so early start on the field. Once they start running does, start backing off that field, and the distance, really, the distance is going to depend on the lay of the land. I mean, it may be a bottom there that you don't have to go 100 yards, but you may want to go 200 yards. Just kind of depends on the topography of your property up there.
Yeah.
Because in hardwood, you can see a long distance. Down here, you can't sometimes see 10 foot in front of you.
I many more times have killed them off the food plot than on the food plot.
That's right.
Probably 5 to 1.
Have you ever hunted? Oh yeah. Have you ever hunted down here in the South?
No, I haven't.
You need to come down here one time and do it. Of course, you got to watch for these rattlesnakes that we're showing you, because you will step on them bad boys in bow season. But there's a big difference in them because all of our animals down here are skittish.
Very skittish.
Okay.
I mean, when we say skittish, man, you know how, Aaron, you know how you can ride around up there in the fall and you see them standing out in the fields? No. You don't see them all down along the interstates here. You'll see them, but not near like you see in Michigan.
Yeah.
One reason you got it is you salt those interstates, you salt the roads, and in the wintertime they're coming to the salt. Yeah. We don't have that problem down here, and they got plenty of browse for the most part, even during the dead of winter here.
Right.
So
and you better be 25 feet up a tree if you.
That's right, because they'll nail you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to come south one time and hunt just to see the difference in them.
Yeah.
I think I will.
Well, listen, man, we appreciate you calling in. Have you been listening to the show long, or is this your first time?
No, I've been listening to the show for a while. I just became a member about 5 days ago.
Well, good.
Well, we appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, now you got something. You're a part of the 1/10 of 1%, and
yep.
I mean, listen, we've got people that has bought those bottles, and there was a young lady, and I'm just saying she was a pretty lady, in Birmingham at a show.
Mm-hmm.
She sold it at her father's. She was probably 19, 20 years old. She was taking it to the camp where her father hunted and was selling it by the ounce.
To the other club members.
To the other club members because she had a bottle. And hey, that's market value right there at the camp during the peak of the rut.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah. First come, first served.
That's right. That's $15-20 an ounce right there.
Up, huh?
You do the math at 26 ounces, that's $260 a bottle. That's a flat $160 profit.
Yeah, right.
She was doing her math, wasn't she? So
that's right.
That's right. So hey,
I used the foam last year, and I haven't tried any of the BioShield either. I'm going to try that stuff out, this year. But I have used the foam last year. I didn't use the buck. I mean, I watched the show and I should have been listening, but I was like everybody else. I was trying to, do everything with the peak of the rut by getting that estrus. But I should have got some buck urine. I got it late, but I still got it. But
yeah.
I should have been using buck urine all the time.
Yeah.
But
you'll be amazed.
That's why I say I'll be ready this season.
You'll be amazed how much that buck urine is going to help you.
Yeah.
And then use your estrus during the peak in conjunction with the buck.
Yeah.
But use that buck every time you go. Hey, if you went out today, use buck urine and bucks will come to it. Today, in Michigan, bucks will come to it.
Right.
Because they're back in bachelor groups.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So it'll work. And but listen, if you're outside up there, if you do 3D shoots or you're fishing or you're turkey, whatever you're doing outside, get you some of this new BioShield bug repellent, insect repellent. It'll take care of the ticks, the mosquitoes, the black flies you guys have up there.
Chiggers.
It's amazing. We're getting just great reviews all over the country. People are they're amazed. Got it in a body wash and a laundry detergent.
I've the system already.
Man, you the cat.
Man, we sure
Call us back and let us know how it works for you.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. I will definitely be calling back. Definitely calling back. I love the show, man. I love what you guys are doing, man. Like I said, man, I learned a lot last year when I listened to you guys. I didn't come into about maybe November of last year, but I learned a lot. So I can't wait to use it all beginning of this season.
Well, we appreciate it, and tell all your friends about it, and tell them, man, they need to tune in, and because it's like telling a story. We're chronologically going through the year in the life of a whitetail each week. And look, we've had people from Michigan, from Alabama, from Canada. Every week there's people is as relevant as the last telephone call. So you're hearing what people are saying tonight all over the country based off of the questions, so it's always relevant. So Aaron, we appreciate you calling in. Tell your friends about it.
Oh, absolutely. I already do that anyway. So some of them should be listening and watching the show tonight because I already told them about it.
Mighty fine. We appreciate the word of mouth. Thank you for kind remarks. We'll be talking to you again.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Bye-bye.
All right, you guys take it easy.
All right. You too, man. Bye-bye. Pretty nice, isn't it?
Well, that's neat.
And that's what this show's about because it's always is relevant. Yeah. And so the buzz is, and so that's one hunter talking to another hunter out there.
Yeah.
It's not the big commercial push and stuff.
Even though we're from different parts of the country and,
Yeah.
different dialects and all.
Hey, I wanted to ask him, now, where are you from? Now, Aaron, I ain't laughing at you, dog. I was just trying to figure out, are you really from
He's laughing at us. That's what it is.
He's going, what them folks saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Having said that, we fix and go to a commercial break. Folks, we'll be right back. I bet they do.
Rise and shine. It's time to hunt.
Repel and kill the bugs that bug you most with the all-natural 100% deep-free BioShield.
You've waited your whole life for this moment. Don't spoil your opportunity because of poor preparation. Keep your optics clean and fog-free for a clear shot every time. Fog Zero.
Recommending it.
That's right.
All right, folks, we're back, and look here, we're gonna try to catch up on a few Facebooks. They're waving it. Big Steve, who we got?
We got Alexandra Melky.
Now tell them where it's from.
Pancake, Texas. Believe it or not.
Can't
I've
make
never
that
heard of
up.
Pancake, Texas.
Pancake, Texas.
Like pancake. Why are some deer antlers dark chocolate while others are white? And it's funny that comes from Texas.
Which what color are they? They're dark.
Yeah, chocolate.
You know,
like Canada, kind of.
100%. I'm not 100% sure why that would always be the case, because even on properties, and even given properties, it can vary.
Yeah.
But
that is a good question. We're probably going to have to research, actually.
Yeah, I mean, there is some variations on it, where the deer, almost always Texas is dark.
Yeah, they have.
And
Canada, those two states.
Canada, and, in some tips, some of them have got white tips,
and some of them are real, like in Alabama, where are real, almost white. Real.
You would think that right off the bat, we ought to know that.
Yeah.
But there's one of them questions, by gosh, you find out real quick. We don't want to shoot the bull with you. We got some variations on that. Well, we'll find that out, Andrew, and we'll call you back. In fact, any of the guys that's just called in, or people's listening, if you know that, call in real quick and tell us why they're dark or not dark.
Yeah.
How about that? All right, next one.
All right, we got Jace Lent from Springfield, Missouri. Do you believe trail cameras help or hurt when you're hunting? That's a very good question, because I've often wondered if they're helping or hurting. I often wonder if that deer's just skittish, especially that older mature buck, not really wanting to come by that trail, being a bow hunter, getting close. And he sees that camera and comes a different route. So I've often wondered that.
I think you mean like being spooked from the camera itself?
Yeah, just shying away from that trail just because in the back of his mind he's seen that something that doesn't look natural over there on that tree.
I wonder, that's got to have some impact. A whitetail's not like a turkey. A turkey, you sit up on a bird and you sit sideways. You don't want to sit sideways here and the bird's coming that way. You want to this way, because he knows whether that tree, that's his house.
Right.
And he knows there's not a knot over here. So the furniture's, something's not right.
Right.
A whitetail's not much spooked on that, is interaction with it. But so the question would be, if to get the camera in and check the camera in and out. Now, some of these cameras are getting better. It's going in and coming out, in and coming
constant,
out.
Putting your scent down and that activity.
Because you're educating that buck.
That's right.
The best time to kill a big buck is just, watch this. What time of year do you like to hunt the best?
First week, bow season.
And see, there's the answer to that. It's just what we're saying. Pressure. The reason for it, they've had recovery all spring. They're getting ready to come out of velvet. No pressure.
Yeah.
They've had 6-8 months of just being able to get back in a routine. Once you educate them, they start getting more wisdom and weary and jittery.
Yeah.
And so,
but what I do, Jace, is I use the cameras 4 weeks before the season all the way up to the start of bow season. Typically then we pull them because basically by that time we know what's out there, and then so that way we're not tempted to go in there and pull those cards, look at the bucks, see what's in there.
You know, you're watching them develop and where they are.
Unless you leave that camera there all year long, to me seems like if it's always there and that's a permanent fixture, as long as you're not going in and out of there all the time, it might be okay, I would think.
I tell you, a lot of people, you may see a good buck on a camera, and you sit there, especially like Aaron up in Michigan, you sit there where you kill 1-2 bucks, and he sit there and let a good shooter come by trying to get this one, and that one ain't there no more.
Yeah.
Somebody's done killed him on another property over there.
Yeah.
So you're waiting out. So, there's pros and cons to it, but what's really good is like you're talking about, watching the development and know that they're on the property, and then pull them and hunt the animal.
And what's most important is right after the season, the day after, getting that camera out there for a few weeks, get to see what you have left,
That's
what
exactly
didn't
right.
get killed.
Get an inventory count.
That's right. Get an inventory. That's right.
Find out, and then go to trying to maintain the property to hold them there, to keep somebody else from getting them. So it's a process, folks. It's a timeline, and boy, that's a great way to do it, though. Beginning and the end. Of course, a lot of people, they leave them out all the time because they want to be doing something.
Well, and it is neat to see those pictures.
It is, but you're educating them.
It's exciting.
You're educating them as well. All right, who else we got?
All right, we got Colin Anderson from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. What factors decide which buck is on top of the pecking order? Is it antler size, age, weight, or personality?
A little bit of all.
Yeah, definitely.
Dominant as a general rule means older, bigger, more mass. Now, having said that, personality, a buck can have personality just like a man.
Yeah, that aggression.
He can be, look, you all know that you can do this. You don't believe this? Try this tomorrow. Walk up to somebody and you're this mixed company and you say, well, sir, you have a beautiful wife. That man could say, well, sir, Don, thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. And the next guy, you say, sir, you have a very beautiful wife. You say, well, thank you. I walk up to that guy and say it, and he wants to take my head off. And the reason for it is his jealousy is way shorter fused than these. Yeah. That's the reason sometimes you see bucks allow other bucks to get what they call the no tolerance zone to the bedroom, to scrape. Some bucks would allow subordinate bucks to come closer to the master bedroom, but if you notice, their tails tucked, the ears, they're coming in a subordinate posture. Because that buck's just more confident in who he is, or his jealousy's not as bad.
Right. So personalities,
a buck can have personalities just like men do.
Mm-hmm. And typically, you're
but as a general rule, bigger, older, more mass, as a general rule.
Yeah.
Okay, we got time for one more? All right, one more.
We got Ari Miller from, I'm not even going to say that, it's Wisconsin, I believe. Bosco Bell, is that right? Bosco Bell?
You asking me?
Bosco Bell.
All right.
Why don't whitetails spook from machinery, but once you get off the tractor, they scatter? How are they able to understand the threat? That's and that's observed down here.
That's right.
We've got farmers, and my wife's family's farms, and you're right. Boy, you get on tractor, they just feel like they run everywhere.
They're conditioned
to the noise.
They're conditioned to the noise, and I've said it, and I've said it, and I've said it. One of the best deer calls is a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And the reason for it is they associate browse, logging,
new browse on
the ground to the saws. But when you turn the saws off, they'll come to it. If you're in the truck, but when you step out of that truck, now they've associated danger with that. They're not associating danger to the car. That's the reason why deer get run over with cars.
Yeah.
Now if there's a man standing out there, they're not near as likely to cut out across the road in front of you. Now unless something's pushing them. And
they understand the threat because they know man's a threat.
That's right.
They know
it's instinctive.
He's been conditioned on that.
It's instinctive.
That's right.
We're part of the food chain, and the top of the food chain at that. So, but a lot of people don't realize that. That's the reason the chain says it really is crazy. You need to try that, folks. Down here in the southeast, especially in Alabama, we log.
Yeah, man.
And you can just log and let everybody leave and just sit in the truck
Here they come.
Here they come, man. It's as good as a feeder.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
And that's legal.
It's like
no,
that.
you can't shoot them out of the truck, but you get our point.
It's like that timer on that feeder when that spinner goes off.
That's right.
You know,
It's
like in
dinner
Texas,
bell.
here they come. It's a dinner bell. That's right.
You put you some pea gravel on there. Of course, I told you last week that ain't legal.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I mean, I'm just saying
We don't want to be in trouble.
No, it makes a noise, and they condition to the noise. All right, folks, we got to close this show, but we appreciate you calling in, and tell all your friends about it next week. 52 weeks a year.
Yeah.
Hunting the Rut
Thursday
Hotline.
night.
Every Thursday night. What time?
7 o'clock.
Central Time. We'll see you next Thursday night, folks. Tell somebody about the show.